does not provide any information in isolation. I do not know whether it is good or bad. What I do? I make a comparison. What is the use of taking so much business struggle? If I would put the money into the bank, how much did I get? I would get 8,000 rupees, 8%. Fine, okay. 7,000 extra is more. So I need to earn more than my opportunity cost of capital, otherwise it doesn't make any sense to do it in business. Next year I earn 20,000 rupees. Then next year I earn 22,000 rupees. When I realize that I cannot earn any more, I have reached my optimum level. Is there any way out in accountancy? Devashish, 5 minutes.
No,
With your permission.
I'm listening to you with great deal of interest, sir. Please carry on.
Any way out?
Sell out your business.
If a business fails, there is one thing is called fraud. I do not know in detail. That is fraud. One is not fraud, it is business failure. That is not fraud. My calculations are wrong. So is there any measuring way out that I can say that I cannot earn any more? Entire IFRS is based on this capital maintenance concept. Entire OCI is based on capital maintenance concept. There is no way directly I can make out that I can earn any more, or I need to draw this line here. Then what is the way out? I face with this impossibility. Then what is the way out? I take a different route. That is called Pareto optimality. What is that? In this world, if somebody is made better off without making somebody worse off, resource is not fully utilized. If somebody is made better off without making somebody worse off, resource is not fully utilized. समझ में नहीं आया. Take a very simple example. This room can accommodate how many? 200. Okay? One person wants to come in. Okay? He comes and sits down. That means what? There is still some seats. Resource is not fully utilized. We are making somebody better off, but not making somebody worse off. Yes or no?
Yes.
But the moment one person wants to come in, and at the same time one is asked to leave the room, that means what? One is made better off making somebody worse off. So in my business, if I increase the wages, what will happen? I will have other things remaining fixed. What will happen? I will have less income. I will pay less income tax. I will pay less dividends. Yes or no? But even after increasing, I can maintain the same amount of income tax payment, same amount of dividend. Means what? I have still the capacity to earn more. Entire OCI, that concept is based on capital maintenance. One thing is what? Impairment. My carrying amount is not worth of what it should be. Reduce the value of the thing. If I sell it, if I get the recovered amount, higher amount is lower than this to bring it down. I earn 15,000 with 50, I am very happy. And inflation 10%. How do I survive? That means I have earned only 5% taken into consideration this. If I don't take this fair value of liabilities, if I just, what I'm telling you, that at the deep discount bond at the last year, I pay from the reserve, I need to reduce this, I'll be paying more. Deferred tax asset liabilities, if I don't take into consideration, my EPS will be lower and higher. I'll be paying more dividend than what I'm supposed to pay. But I'm only paying much less than what I'm supposed to pay. So one is called physical capital maintenance. That is the best example, the standard on impairment of assets. And financial capital maintenance, I need to do this because in the market everything I see, na? In a particular month you will find everything is increased by 10 to 25%. How do I survive? I cannot. My assets will call for disbursement after regular intervals. I do have enough money for this. Okay? Any question, please? No question. Anybody? Yes. Why? Yes. Yes.
Interest-free loans are provided.
Interest on?
Interest-free loans are provided
Huh?
for corporate vehicles,
Huh?
corporate executives.
Huh?
But interest from that loan is not charged to the accounts. So is this a
You will have to show both. You will have to show that that is an employee benefit cost. At the same time, that's a benefit. But otherwise, trial balance will not tally. Anything to be recorded change, suppose you put something in the PL, say an expense, if it is not, it becomes a liability. So interest free, no, you have to put both. Income and expense, that will not tally.
no, within PL, sir?
Yes,
It is within PL.
yes.
So what will be the treatment of the
How, just simple thing, how do people know that CFO is giving 5 crore rupees loan? That's a cost, it is a cost.
cost rate?
Yes.
So what would be the treatment for the goodwill?
Goodwill.
Goodwill.
Goodwill you have to calculate when you acquire a business. Your consideration paid more than the identifiable net assets valuation.
If it is not paid, it is generated by the market itself.
That is not recorded. Never recorded. Goodwill arises only in a business combination. Yes, please.
Regarding the flat which was sold after delivered after 2 years,
Ha.
in that case the construction contracts are to be recorded as percentage completion.
That is not there in 115.
In AS 11, in Index 11 it is.
I was talking about 115, the new standard.
Sir, in Index 11 it is there.
I am not talking about AS 11. I am talking about the 115, that is new one.
Means that then they have to follow the completed contract process. That so the percentage.
I talk about the interest that will have to show both an income, both an expense. Because money you get the same amount.
So even
Say
the
something on particle or adjustment.
Ah,
Say something on particle adjustment. Particle or horizontal adjustment.
which one?
Particle or horizontal adjustment जो बोला यार.
Consistency, yes.
Say something. Again.
Vertical. Best example is Devashish, reclassification adjustment. If I put in PL deduct from OCI. Okay, Devashish? Horizontal, deep discount bonds. You issue for 75 and at the third year when you pay, you take it from reserve. No, you charge giving interest on that.
It is within the year, within the same period, sir.
Every year,
Every year.
she worked out. Every year you charge keep on interest. And third dimensional is what is happening in the same trade. You do the for this effective interest rate. You are providing 5% interest, but without the conversion feature, the market 10%. You for 10% this. Okay?
This capital maintenance, how to apply in this 5 years?
Yes. Yes. Very good question. Do you know it's an idiom? If you ask me one question and if I say it's a good question means what? If you ask me one question and if I say it is good question, it's an idiom, it means I don't know the answer. तुम्हें देवे?
बोलो ना, definitely.
I am-
Before that, may I request my central council colleague Devashish Da to please come on the back.
Just
I
2
was
minutes.
listening to him with great deal of interest, right? Thank you.
Yudhishthir with his 4 brothers went to a guru to have lessons. The guru said, come from tomorrow. They went. What was the lesson for the first day? Guru said, Satyam Badha Krodham Makuda. Satyam Badha means always speak the truth. Krodham Makuda, never get angry. Understood? Everybody said understood except Yudhishthir. You said no, sir. I never understood. Okay, do one thing, you come tomorrow. Others who don't need to come, they have understood. Yudhishthir came. You see, if you are blind to people's mistakes, you will never get angry. Just try to become blind to people's mistakes. Don't see the mistakes in people. You will never get angry. You want people to be in the same way. They should think in the same way you are thinking. Forget all this. Understood? Well, no. Next day, you used to listen, I am telling you, anybody can get angry, it is very easy. But to get angry with the right person in the right way, at the right time, that is not easy. Understood? So every day he was trying. Then the teacher got fed up. Yudhishthir, please. Tomorrow is the last day, I will try. If I cannot, then stop coming to me. Then again came Yudhishthir understood. Well, I know. Get out from here, nonsense. For the last 1 month, what I have been doing with you. Yudhishthir started clapping. But now I can truthfully say that I have understood. Somebody angry with me and I am unruffled. I am unaffected. It is very difficult to define what is the capacity of the asset. They are having all indirect application, but very, very important things. You talk about impairment. Why? Because you want to maintain your physical capital. You take into consideration time value of money. Entire IFRS based on this, no discount. Because take into consideration financial maintenance. Okay? Thank you very much.
Very good, sir.
As you all know, we have another speaker, my Central Council member, Dr. Devasis Mitra. I would introduce him.
Not
He is
Nitesh.
a CA, CWA, CS, MCOM, DISA, PhD, blah blah blah. He has, the best part is he has awarded a degree of PhD on his thesis, a critical study of selected Indian GAAP, US GAAP and IFRS. He is the vice chairman of expert committee and research committee for this for the current year, and various members of various committees of ICAI. I would request Ladia ji to please come forward and offer a flower bouquet to my Central Council member, please. Request everybody to put your hands together for.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now it's time to hear from you.
Right. Chairman CP of EIRC, Mr. Nitish Moore, my co-speaker, Mr. Mukherjee, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very good afternoon to all of you. So many of you are here wanting to know about Indes. Those of us who are here just to get the CP hours, because December is coming, I think that we shouldn't bother about the CP hours. Because Indes and GST, according to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, of which I am a Central Council member, are two very important areas now for the profession. Because we are telling our professionals that you must get into niche areas. Go away from audit. Because audit has, see now, it doesn't have much of a scope now anymore, right? So we are saying that we go into the newer areas. For example, this is one new area, Indes. And you don't know what is the demand for this subject. At the institute level, we have got the ASB, Accounting Standards Board. we have got the India's implementation committee. We have got an implementation committee. And then we have got India's implementation, India's interpretation group. Now, what does this three group? I am a member of all these three, so I can tell you what is happening. The third one plays, and this is where I will take you through. We'll go to a journey of, you see, I am not going to be theoretical. Totally practical with the way it is, even this is picking up from the applicability. We publish bulletins, the interpretation group. How many of you have seen the bulletins that we publish? 1, 2, 3. 3 of you. 4. Others, you haven't seen the bulletins. How many you have published till now, sir? कितना bulletin publish किया अभी तक?
3, I think.
हाँ? 5 हो गया.
I have gone through 2.
Huh? Yeah. You see the bulletins that we publish, free of cost. You, 6 or 7 of us are the members. You will not find my name as a member because I am a special invitee. I came in because to this group much later. Because the people, they thought I was in corporate law, so they never brought me into this group. But then when I saw the kind of work this group was doing, so I said that, see, I came in as special invitee. Now, what does it do? You have a question on India's implementation. Write a question to this group. The interpretation group. We sit down. We sit down about once in a month and take your queries head on and answer your queries by way of bulletins. And we do it free of cost. This opinion that we give does not have the stamp of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India because it's a group of council members of the institute who are giving this opinion. We are not saying that this is the opinion of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Because the feeling earlier was this, that look, the institute takes so much of time to get a guidance note out. Indies is something where you have to react real time. So you have a question, you write to the group, the chances are that in about 1.5 months we'll come back with an answer. It will come in the form of a bulletin. We do not write who is the question, you will not get an answer directly. We'll put it up in a bulletin. Right? And the bulletin, those of us who have not seen, have a look at all the bulletins that you have put up. You will find that it will take you to a different world altogether. The bulletins, when they were, by the time I came in, the third bulletin was in progress. It took me to a different world altogether. Never thought about so many things.
Can you share the website?
India's implementation group, if you write, interpretation group, they will get the website. Right? You go for that. That's the first thing that you must do. Go for these bulletins. नहीं तो यहाँ में वो CPA और करने से वो सब India's होगा नहीं. Free of cost. In this site, India's interpretation group आप type कीजिए या ICA-ORG में चले जाइए. वहाँ में आपको सब bulletins सब मिल जाएंगे आपको. You see, bulletins are in the matter of FAQs. Somebody is asking us questions and we are answering. They are, you see, in the form of FAQs. And the FAQs that we have not written yes or no. We have defined this thing that this paragraph says this, consequent to this, this is the answer to this.
And explanation is there.
Explanation is there. Full explanation is there. We have not gone for yes, no answers. We have said that as if we are teaching it. Right? So, first thing, have a look at those bulletins. It will, you see, because I believe that Nitish is organizing this for about 7 days, Nitish? 7 days?
10 days.
10 days. In those 10 days, if you could have seen all the FAQs in the bulletins, and if you have understood, and if you don't understand, if you ask the speaker concerned, I think the first thing, the way Nitish and the regional councillors visualize this, to a great extent, their vision will be achieved. That's the first thing, madam. That's what we are doing at the India's implementation. Now, when I come to, I know I have limited time. My topic is India's one presentation of financial statements. I will come to that, but before that, I will take 2 or 3 questions from the bulletin that we have published, bulletin number 1. And I will tell you what has happened. How many of you are aware that from which date, today you are here, no, from which date is this whole India is becoming applicable? For which categories of companies? Are you aware? I think Mr. Mukherjee must have said by now. Only listed companies?
Yes.
500 crores? 500 crores net worth. That's what everybody says. As on which date?
2014.
As on 31st March 2016?
14.
As on 31st March 2015 he has said, right?
14.
As on 31st March 2014?
No, first April.
As on 1st April. You see, in this matter, you have to be very, very clear in your mind. You see, the big thing, sir, madam, is there is big money to be had in trading. The corporates are willing to pay you big money if you can go and trade them. That's also another area. Those of us who like to trade, who are good in communication skills, let me tell you, this is at the institute level, we are encouraging that train people. We cannot say that, look, this corporate, we are doing this training, no. But we are trying to see that people are facilitated so that they can go and trade. Right? Now, I have a big presentation here, but I'm sure Mr. Mukherjee has done a great work. I'm coming straight to the circular which talks about India's applicability. Major circular, with your permission, I will alternate between English, Hindi and Bengali. This circular that you are showing, this is the circular that was issued on 16th of February 2015. बहुत पुराना circular है. And on this circular, I will take you through what the bulletin number 1 has said about this circular. You'll see this circular, they are saying, forget about all this. Acha. The net worth definition, they are saying the net worth is section 57 of the Companies Act. That is the definition of net worth here. So you see, in this circular, section 2, subsection 57 of, whenever I am talking about net worth, you go for the definition of net worth as contained in section 2, subsection 57 of the Companies Act. Whenever I am talking about net worth, right? Now, applicability of accounting standards. There are two sets of accounting standards now, sir. One is the Indian accounting standards issued as per this circular, that is Indian accounting standards as per this rules 2015, and the second one is the company's accounting standard rules 2006 circular. And let me tell you, on March 30th something else happened. Many of the accounting standards that were issued under company's accounting standard rules 2006 has changed. In March 2016, right, in fact those circulars were issued on 30th of March 2016. For example, now earlier we used to have AS6 and AS10. AS10 was fixed assets, AS6 was depreciation. Now both of them have been combined together, right? Then there is only one AS10. And it is also now the name has been changed. I'm talking about the old one, which is not non-Ind AS, right? Name has been changed to property, plant and equipments. So we have now totally two sets of accounting standards. One accounting standards that are 29 in number, mandatory, as per Companies Accounting Standard Rules 2006, which was notified on 7th of December 2006, and the second set of 39 Ind AS, which was notified on 16th of February 2015. First of all, mentally, इसको एकदम clear करना है. हमारे पास में दो standards हैं, दो set of standards. First of all, जो set of standards है, 2006 का जो standard है, that is the standard of आम आदमी का, जनता standards. सबके लिए applicable है. और ये जो है, Ind AS जो है, 39 जो है, जो 16th of February 2015 में दिया गया था, ये थोड़ा बड़ा कंपनी के लिए applicable है. Right? And as somebody has said, it has to be a listed company, it has to be a net worth of 500 crores. So please note, and here when we are talking about these big ones. Bada jo sab hai. The big ones. That's what we are talking about. We are not talking about AS. By the way, those of us who are doing AS, the change in the AS, for example, AS4, what I'm talking about, when I talk about AS, I'll talk about the Companies Accounting Standard Rules 2006. AS4 underwent a change on 30th of March 2016. I'm just trying to tell you what is the significance of that change. AS4 underwent a change on 30th of March 2016. AS4. On 30th of March 2016, when it was issued, the government of India was unwilling to say that this AS that they have changed, whether the change will be applicable from 1516 or 1617. They just notified on 30th of March, remained silent about it. Right? And those of you who have heard me speak on this earlier, this topic, you will note that I have given an illustration of a gentleman who was sitting with me in the corporate law committee meeting in Delhi. And once on 30th, he was sitting with me on 2nd of April. And AS4, that is event occurring after the balance sheet date, has also changed. His concern was that this AS4, whether it be applicable from 15-16 or 16-17. That was his great concern. 15-16 or 16-17. हम उसका बगल में हम बैठे हुए थे, हम उसको बोला कि क्या फर्क पड़ता है, उसको बोला क्या फर्क पड़ता है, क्यों इतना उछल कूद करते रहते हो? He was a partner of a big four by then. और वो मेरा पीछे बैठ गया, वो बोलता है देवाशीष कुछ करो यार, कुछ करो यार, कुछ करो। बोलता क्या तुम मुझे कॉर्पोरेट लॉ का कॉन्सेप्ट एट दैट टाइम दिस आईएफसी इंटरनल फाइनेंशियल का मेंबर्स लोग मेरा पीछे पड़ा हुआ है कि एग्जामिशन के लिए। तो we were drafting a exemption how to do it, telling the MCA that भाई exempt करो छोटा कंपनी, which MCA did not agree unfortunately. But I was, so we were busy with that. ये मुझे पूछता रहता है कि भाई इसको ये जो है ना इसको क्लैरिफिकेशन करो। हम बोला ठीक है, तो इतना बात बोलता है, तो क्या सोच का डिफरेंस देखिए। I am coming from the other side. I didn't know about it. Why he was so fidgety about that point? वो मुझे बोला करो करो। मैं बोला कि अच्छा अभी तुम मुझे समझाओ, तुम इतना उछल कूद क्यों कर रहा है? मुझे तुम कॉन्सेंट्रेट नहीं कर रहा, हम आईएफसी का वर्क में कर रहा, तुम मुझे कॉन्सेंट्रेट उछल कूद कर रहा है। पार्टनर ऑफ ए बिग बोलता है कि मुझे एक बैलेंस शीट साइन करना है लिस्टेड कंपनी का। बोले बहुत अच्छा, बहुत सुंदर। बोलता है देखो मेरा उस लिस्टेड कंपनी में प्रपोज डिविडेंड है। हम बोलता है बहुत अच्छा, प्रपोज डिविडेंड है। बोलता है मेरा जो पहले AS4 था उसमें क्या कहते हैं हम प्रपोज डिविडेंड। आई विल टॉक योर लैंग्वेज, हाँ जनरल बड़ा फ्लारी वो सब। हम पहले क्या कहते हैं प्रपोज डिविडेंड। व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू डू, आई यूज्ड टू टेक इट इन रिजर्व्स एंड सरप्लस, लेस प्रपोज डिविडेंड, राइट? I used to do that. Why I used to do that? Schedule 3 told me that proposed dividend you need not take. But AS4 told me, the old AS4, that proposed dividend must form a part of my financial statements. But जो PL का जो statement बना था Schedule 3 में, उसमें PL का statement में proposed dividend का कहीं जगह नहीं था. So what I used to do, I used to take the proposed dividend in my reserves and surplus and adjust it. I hope you'll agree with me. It's pure accounts, by the way. Pure accounts, right? So I used to do that. Pure accounts, by the way, right? Now the new AS4, what does it say? It says that you need not take proposed dividend in your accounts, financial statements. Consequently, they are saying that अगर आपका proposed dividend है, which has not been approved by the AGM, then you make a disclosure of the proposed dividend in your
Not to the accounts.
not so accounts. अभी ये भाई साहब जो है अभी बोल रहा है कि देखो अगर नया AS4 आता है तो मुझे प्रपोज डिविडेंड रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में लाना नहीं पड़ता है। अगर पुराना AS4 में मुझे करना पड़ता है 15-16 का प्रपोज डिविडेंड मुझे रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस में। बोलो तुम मुझे बोलो मेरा दुविधा क्या है एंड हाउ कैन आई साइन एंड फर्दर ही वाज सेइंग आई हैव टू साइन दिस बाय 15th. सर look at the point. First of all, I underestimated him. I didn't know what he was talking about. I was laughing at him. But when he told me that this was the point, I just looked down at myself, saying my own ignorance on the point. That he had such a vital point. MCA would not clarify. Then the second week of April, what we did, from the institute side, we made a clarification that the new accounting standards that come in would be applicable from 16-17 and not for 15-16. 2 days later on, because we took a call, MCA were telling them clarify, they did not. We took a call and we said we shall clarify. 2 days later, MCA clarified that the new accounting standards would be applicable from 16-17. So those of us who are going to do accounts this time, as per the accounting standards, please note that AS6, AS10 are not there. AS4 has changed, AS2 has changed, so many changes are there. We have to first of all grapple with the accounting standards that are the old ones. As for the company's accounting standard rules 2006, read with the amendment rules 2016. Coming back to India. I'm taking a change. Coming back to India. Now they're saying that these ones, they'll be applicable, they're talking about 2 cents. You see, Now, the first, why all of you are here? Those of us who are here only to get the CP hours, let me tell you, I don't think so. I'm really going to address you. I'm very frank, I'm on this. Because if I'm going to address for 3 hours on behalf of the institute, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Right? Because I feel it's my duty to see that that you can take this as an institute as a facilitator. Now, abhi aap dekhenge, they are saying that from 1st April 2015, a company may, see the word may here, see the word may here. That means for 15-16, from 1st April 2015, that means for 15-16, it's optional for a company of a particular size to go for Ind AS. Agreed? Most companies did not go for optional also. Now they are saying that from 16-17, from 1st of April 2016, these kind of companies have to go for Ind AS with comparatives for the previous year. That is 16-17 with comparatives for 15-16. I hope you got it. Right? What are the size of these companies? Listed companies, 500 crores net worth, and please note, holding subsidiary, joint venture or associate companies of these companies. All of them will have to go for Ind AS. Right? Any doubt at this stage? Very simple. Right? I will go slide by slide, ask you questions. If you have any doubt, raise your hands. I am willing to answer. Right? So if you have any doubt on this, so this is a very easy slide. Now, the following companies will do it from 1st of April, then 17-18 onwards. For these following companies, this is going to be applicable. Right? That means all kinds of listed companies and other companies having net worths of more than 250 crores. And earlier for this 16-17 is net worth of more than 500 crores. From next year onwards, 250 crores of net worth. Please note, at one point of time when the concept paper was raised, was issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, way back I think in somewhere in 2010-11. The institute had recommended for applicability of Ind AS, it is a turnover which is important and not necessarily the net worth. The MCA, when they issued this notification, they said that no, not turnover. We shall go for net worth. Right? So they have gone for the net worth here. Right? So now from 17-18, the requirements are less. 250 crore ka bhi ho sakta hai. Right? Look at the opportunity now. I'll tell you, look at the opportunity. So this is for this kind of companies, you are not, this is small stock exchange ka nahi hoga. Of March 2014 is the cut-off date for calculation of your net worth. 31st of March. Sir, अभी आप करेंगे 16-17 का बाद आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि नेटवर्क 500 करोड़ के ऊपर में 31st of March 2014 का तब था कि नहीं. मुझे 2015 का नेटवर्क क्या है उसके लिए मुझे I have no this thing. Now, in the first bulletin that we issued, somebody asked us a question. Sir, 31st of March 2014, my net worth was only 200 crores. 31st of March 2014. उधर मुझे 31st of March 2015 में मेरा नेटवर्थ जो है वो 400 करोड़ था. 31st of March 2016 में मेरा नेटवर्थ जो है 2015 में पकड़ी मेरा नेटवर्थ जो है in the first year 31st of March 2014 my net worth was only 250. In 31st of March 2015, my net worth went on to become, say, 400 crores. In 31st of March 2016, it exceeded 500 crores. Now, the point is, the circular says, the 31st of March 2014, right? Does it mean that I don't have to prepare accounts as per days? What is the opinion of the House here? That's the question that was asked. If you look at the first bulletin that you have issued, we have answered this question. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
कंपनी का नाम बताइए ना, तो शेयर लेने का इतना फटाफट नेटवर्क बढ़ रहा है.
Huh? Oh. Good, good. Good, that it only means that all of you see, if you laugh, I'll be smile, I'll be extremely happy. Because I have this theory that if you're going to smile and laugh along with me, that means you are enjoying the topic and you'll understand it better.
If you
Right?
if you
ये हम लोग इंस्टीट्यूट में ना इस तरह क्वेश्चन कभी-कभी खुद ही फ्रेम करते हैं, let me tell you, समझे कि नहीं, just to make it simple for members. हम अगर देखा ना 427.22 crores, कुछ members ऐसा भी है, बोलता है कि आप लोग ये सब फिगर ये सब ये में डेसिमल में क्यों देता है? It's for easier understanding why you don't write 400 crores. Right, so we try to, you'll see yourself that in many of these FAQs that are there in bulletins, are all rounded off FAQs. These things have all been rounded off. Right, okay, all right. It's good that the company is doing so well, right? I'll come to a reverse situation. Question is, what happens in that case? I hope you have understood my question.
if strictly we go by law, by act, by circular, then it is not.
भाई साहब बोल रहे हैं कि 2014 में नहीं था, 2014 ছিল না, তো ছিল না তখন ছিল না, পরে যদি হয়েছে তখন তো ছিল না, শেষ, পিরিয়ড, আর অত ঝামেলা করে কি লাভ আছে, বাস শেষ আমার কোম্পানি। But this rule says,
Yes. Or in
please Parias.
Nitish, can you remove this board?
Good sir, yeah, I would want that you should see the screen, interact, that's the way to go. Right?
Reach the thresholds.
Thresholds. Then you see, you go for the year in which it has the threshold. 31st March 2016 में इसका threshold हो गया, 1st of April 2016 से करना पड़ेगा. Please get that. Here, this gentleman, he asked us a question that हमारा तो 2014 में तो था नहीं, 2016 में जाके हुआ है, तो क्या करें? Look at it. But then there was a reverse question, sir. Sir, there was a reverse question. This question was asked of me when I was taking a training session. This was a huge PSC. And he was saying, 31st of March 2014, my net worth is 600 crores. Sir, and as in many of the PSUs, I'm not trying to, they had a huge loss. It's an iron and steel company. Subsequently, in 2015, the net worth came down to 400 crores. 2016, the net worth अभी आ गया 150 crore. Whether the converse is true, that means, does it mean that 31st of March 2014 the net worth was there, subsequently the net worth has come down, so does it mean that I go out of the grip of Indians? Sir, 100% no. Once you comply with that 31st of March 2014, subsequently क्या होता है? And you have to follow Indians every year. You have to follow Indians every year. Right? I am picking up these questions from the bulletin number 1 that you have issued, FAQ. You read them, आपको बहुत आनंद आएगा आप सब देख के.
So if in 14, the net worth was say 800 crore.
As
800 crore.
800 crores.
Now in 16, 17, it is say negative.
तो क्या हो? फिर भी करना पड़ेगा.
करना पड़ेगा.
100% करना पड़ेगा. 100% करना पड़ेगा. उपाय नहीं.
तो जहाँ बढ़ता है
हाँ.
वहाँ करना पड़ता है, वो ठीक है.
हाँ, वो तो वही है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का सी ये है.
टैक्स ऑडिट नहीं है ना,
हाँ.
जॉब होगे तो नहीं करना पड़ेगा.
All right, sir. So I hope you have understood the small
Sir,
nuances of this whole.
Yes, if in 2013 it was 800, in 14 it gone down to 400.
Then you don't have to do. Then have to do because it is all very good. So it's now somebody was telling me that when we were doing this, I was not, as I said, that I was not part of the interpretation group when we did the bulletin number 1. Somebody was saying, यार ऐसा bulletin number 1 ऐसा कौन basic question कौन पूछता है? Institute का time खराब करता है. But look, the people who had asked these questions were not really asking very basic questions, because even all of you are asking the similar questions. You also want a clarification on them.
Basically, the effect between 14 and 16 is very
Very important.
right.
Very important. Abhi, yes.
In case of demerger also,
Huh? Demerger. I'm coming to that, sir. Even bulletin number 1 or bulletin number 2, we have taken demergers. Bulletin number 1 or bulletin, I'm taking your question. I was thinking of taking a question, but I was a bit apprehensive. And I'm also looking at Nitish because my topic is also financing India as 1 because I have not as yet touched India as 1. Right? Yes, madam, you are telling me something, madam. You are wanting to
No, I
tell
was
me.
saying that suppose after 14,
Yes, madam.
it becomes 600 and then again it falls, then also you're doing
Once you start applying this, madam, you have to go ahead for this. You have no choice. You have to go ahead for this. Right? So that's how it is. I hope you got the concept right. Now, I will come back to this and take his question on merger demerger. Coming back to just to take his question. Holding subsidiaries सभी का करना पड़ेगा. Now, what happened in this bulletin number 1 or bulletin number 2? I don't forget. Somebody asked us a question, madam, and you will find it very interesting. And when they teach you, ask them to take out the bulletin issues. Right? The questions they can discuss with you, then you will find things more interesting. And you study the bulletins and come. Right? As I said again and again, CPRs is incidental. What is this thing is you must enjoy Indians. Right? That is what is important. Once you enjoy, it's a CPRs is incidental. Right? So, the question in the bulletin was, a company X is a holding company. The company X's, this thing was 600 crores. 600 crores net worth as on 31st of March 2014. Company X had 2 subsidiaries, Company B and Company C. Company B had a net worth of 200. Company C, the other subsidiary, had a net worth of 300. Sir, please see my example, sir. 31st of March 2014, I have a Company X, which is a holding company, having a net worth of 600 crores. I have 2 subsidiaries, Company B and Company C, which are having net worths of 200 and 300 crores. That means independently, they are not falling under Indians. But what it says, holding subsidiary, joint venture or associate companies, all, if the holding is there, then all the subsidiaries, irrespective of their net worth, will come to the picture. Will come to the picture. अब एसोसिएट्स के बारे में नहीं बोलेगा, अभी तक शायद एसोसिएट्स आप लोगों को कंसल्टेशन कर भी चुके होंगे, whatever. I am not talking about that. Now, what has happened here? Joint venture associate companies. This company, Company B, which is a subsidiary, it decided to demerge. That is, get out of the whole thing. And when did it decide to demerge? In December 2014. Decided to demerge.
After 31st March 14.
After 31st of March 2014. Who said that? After 31st, oh good, you are following it, very, very good. Sir, after 31st of March, in December 2014, decided to demerge. It decided to get out. The question arises, and is it the first year is 16-17? Right? The question arises as to whether this subsidiary, which has decided to demerge, will be required to prepare India's accounts for 16-17 or not?
Yes.
Number 1. Second question. The subsidiary B, I said that the company had 2 subsidiaries. The subsidiary B had decided to demerge in the month of May 2016. The first question, subsidiary A has decided to demerge in December 2014. The second question, subsidiary B decided to demerge in May 2016. Whether subsidiary B is also required to prepare accounts.
Both are required.
Both are required? On what basis? Any one of you, the gentleman who said with a full-throated voice, all are required. You can just stand up. Yes, good. Please, sir. Please, sir. I'm hearing you, sir. You can just.
Once they have followed
E-days, they have to maintain that compatibility also.
Once they have followed, but they have not as yet followed, sir. You have a fallacy in your argument, sir. No, they have. My question is, they are preparing for the first year, 16-17. They have not started preparing. 16-17 is the first year of preparation. You are saying once they have followed, sir. I am going to take the basics. See, your basics message right before I go for India's one.
So since both the companies have taken the decision post 31st March 14,
Ah.
both of them have to follow it.
No. Is it? Post 31st March 2014? Now, what had happened in this case? Look at the first case. What's the date of applicability of this? 1st of April 2016. In the first case, the company demerged effective from December 2014. In the first case. December 2014. Right? So, since it had demerged before the starting of the period from which Ind AS is applicable, that is from 16-17, that company is not required to prepare Ind AS separately. Look at the second company. It decided to demerge in May 2016, but on 1st of April 2016, it was part of that group. It has to prepare Ind AS. That's a lot. Right? That's how it is. And you will find this answer in 2 pages we have written, I think in bulletin number 2 or bulletin number 1. I am saying not very clear, but you will find all these things in the bulletins.
But sir,
If the first demerged company,
Yes.
if the first demerged company was decided to do in December 14,
Yeah.
if it continues to be subsidiary company of the holding company, then
No, वो subsidiary नहीं है, वो सब holding खत्म हो गया. Right? I hope you have got these things at this stage, right? I will not take too much of this thing, except the fact that you are aware that 15-16 is the. Sometimes I will say you have to correct me. 15-16 is the first year. 16-17 is the first year. You want to always yes.
but ultimately all the
Now what कुछ बोले नहीं. I'll take one by one. One by one. You can take it. I'll take a question on the slide. I will not keep it at the end. So that at 7:30 when all of us are ready, willing to go, you don't ask me questions. I would want you to ask questions. Yes, please.
There are two. One is date of applicability.
Yes.
Another is when I start my account under Ind AS. Once it has become applicable to me as soon I am eligible or I fall under that date as of
That's right.
then I have to prepare a 1st April 2016 whether I go out of that date later.
That criteria, whether I go out of the net or not, is only for subsidiaries for consolidation. Because it's impractical, nah? Why do you want to consolidate a company which is no longer part of it? Why do you want to consolidate a company which is no longer part of it? Which is no longer part of it from 14 onwards. That's the whole thing. That's the view the institute has taken. And let me tell you, it's a view of the interpretation group, not necessarily the view of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Right? Or the interpretation group.
ultimately all the companies will be have to do the Ind AS.
Yes, if you're there part of the group, even associates, you have to do it.
So in this case, if the subsidiary had 600 crores turnover in 2014 and the holding was having 200 crores turnover, then also both of them had to follow.
Kya bola? Sir, see, that is the beauty.
Yes.
That's the beauty of this whole thing. I am really appreciative of your question. He's saying, ulta kar do.
Turnover.
Subsidiary, you said net worth or turnover? Net worth. So, if the subsidiary had a net worth of 600, the holding had 200, then again also is required. Right? And in that case, suppose this subsidiary demerges from the holding. But since by itself it has a net worth of more than 500 crores, it still has to prepare.